Hey, you came back. Well done you. I guess last time maybe wasn't so bad then. Anyways, let's see what's happening in the studio this week. Hey guys, Sean here from Aardnor Studios. This is our second video. Welcome back. Our first one had a bit of a controversy, or as I used to say in Britain, a controversy around it. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But first, today we're going to be building this shelving unit. It is used in a tavern display I'm making right now. It goes behind the bar. It's an interesting setup. It's going to be used by Kings Valley Forge on Instagram. They're putting together something to be able to display and photograph the great minis that they build and paint. It's going to be a really neat diorama display unit. We'll show you where we are on that today. So yeah, that's where things are at. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you look forward to more videos in the future. Let's have a look and see where we're at right now.
All right, so you can see we're already quite a ways in process on this build. It is coming together quite nicely. What's really interesting is this upper level is going to be a tavern and the lower level is going to be a cavern, so that's going to look really neat stacked on top of each other. So today's build, like I mentioned, is working on this shelving unit. It'll go in behind the bar area. Just fashioning up some sides and the back. There's a lot of pieces you'll see to make this unit, but I think it all comes together quite well. Making some shelves here out of popsicle sticks, and wow, some pretty incredible action there with the release of the end of that. It actually looped around and came back. Pretty crazy. Slow motion. This little unit is a drafting tool. It has little wheels underneath it so you can get straight lines across the page. What I really love is all the little holes in it, 1 centimeter apart. You can do a really nice job of lining things up. The holes are great to put your pen through. Safety. Oh, hello. How are you doing? Little safety announcement here. When you're working with XPS foam, and if you're doing any work on filing, sanding, or using a wire brush like this, just be really careful, because these little particulate matter that you create, the dust, isn't good for you. You don't want to get that inside of you. You know, it's not good inside of your system. So, you know, ooh, pink lung. Yeah, bad disease. Nobody wants pink lung. Nice satisfying shots here. This is using the Proxon table hot wire cutter. If you're just very careful and press the foam up against the wire on a low setting, you can make these little tiny grooves into things. I do it quite a bit in my building. You just have to be careful, but it is very, very effective. Here we go. Here are all the pieces required to build our little shelving system, ready for assembly.
Hey, looks like something strange is going on down in the tavern. I'm not sure what it is. Let's go have a look.
Yes, hi, thank you. I'm happy to be here at the Wizard's Bounty. I just got into town last night. Flew in, and boy, is my hippogriff tired. Anyhow, this barbarian, see, he wakes up and looks up and sees a cleric up above him. And he doesn't feel so good. And the cleric looks down and says, yeah, you took some bad hits there, buddy. But, you know, I got some good news and some bad news. What would you like to hear? And Barbarian says, you know, sure, let's start with the bad news. And the cleric says, well, looks like you hurt your leg pretty bad, and we had to chop off your right leg there.
Get lost!
And the Barbarian, he says, man, what kind of good news could come from that? And cleric says, well, the bard over there is kind of interested in your magic boots of leaping.
Get him! Attack! Kill that moron!
Nothing says YouTube training video than a time-lapse montage. All we need is Journey kind of singing Don't Stop Believing. You'll have to use your imagination, copyright and all. So I mentioned there was a controversy on the last video. Nothing major, kind of silly really, but when I did post it on Facebook, I had a couple of people comment on the naming of it. They said that that large pink hammer isn't a war hammer, they called it a maul, and I tend to think traditionally a maul is a two-handed weapon. This is a smaller one-handed hammer, and you know, at the end of the day, does it really matter what we're calling it? It was about the look, about the build, about all the work, not so much about a naming convention. Anyways, it was kind of fun. I just opted to stay back and let them go at it. All right, the bead section of the video. This is a little tribute. We're going to send it out to our good friend Bill Making Stuff, who is the bead king. I'll put a link to Bill's channel down below. Certainly check it out. It is always a good time. Here we go, just doing a little bit of work on some cupboard doors. 4 of them put together, little beads for handles, and Bob's your uncle. Looks good. So I wanted a cool sign for this build, and I made something up in Photoshop, printed it out, and then here we're cutting it out and applying it to some heavy cardstock. And from there it'll be applied to the top portion of the cabinet.
Well, that's this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something along the way. Had a lot of fun putting it together, and I look forward to doing more in the future and sharing with you. If you did enjoy it, please, a like would be very helpful, and I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. We're trying to increase this and see where we can take it, and your support is really needed. So thank you very much. And yeah, that wraps it up. So until next time, keep making. All right, that's the build portion done. I guess all we have left to do is cue those glamour shots. Big thank you to my patrons. You guys are awesome. I thank you for all of your support. If any of you are interested in learning some of the skills to make items like this, think about joining the Pink Foam Brigade. That's my Patreon site for tips, tricks, and tutorials. Link below. I'm not sure why they call it stand-up comedy if I'm always lying down.